stream, and on Twitch it's between like 5 and 6K. It really just kind of depends on what I'm doing at the time. But on Twitch, you'll make more money while live and make nothing once the stream ends. On YouTube, you'll make less money while live and then could make 5 times as much from just the VOD. On Twitch, when the stream ends, it's basically forgotten. That's lost media at that point because no one's fucking watching Twitch VODs, it seems. On YouTube, when the stream ends, well, now the journey's just begun. Like, now, there's no telling what that can generate. Like, take this for example. This was a very normal, pretty low-key stream. I was just replaying Gears of War, one of the most important games in my life. This wasn't a brand new, hot release that would be, like, algorithmically successful. Like, it's not like something the algorithm would be salivating over, pushing out a Gears of War live stream. Gears of War is older than the hair on your grandma's titty nipple. Like, this is one of those streams where I do just because I really wanted to replay this game, and you can see my average viewer. Viewers were 10,000, which is normal. That's a pretty normal stream for me on YouTube. But the VOD now has 1.6 million views and has made over $20,000. And of course I was multi-streaming, so I can pull the Twitch data as well here. This exact same stream made $1.4 thousand on Twitch. The difference is substantial. Now you can see again here in the data, the live revenue, 802 while live here, plus again, memberships and supers aren't really indicative to what was live because some of those could have been from people.
So the point of his video is basically that he gets more money on Twitch from being live, and he is able to monetize the VODs more on YouTube, which makes sense, I guess, you know. All right, let's get back to this quest here. My name is Wilshocker, and we are on a mission to shock the world with fantastic content. We're playing more Final Fantasy, like always. I don't expect I'll be stopping Final Fantasy anytime soon. I really want to get to the end of this game, and I really want to experience the end game content, so buckle up, because that's going to be a long few months. The question of how to put the Mad King's treasure to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arenvald? I'm at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins and then start preparing for the big meeting. Send Nanamo my regards, Will. And ours too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. Back to Ul'dah. Interesting. Level 70 quest. What is this? Oh, the Reaper job. I don't want the Reaper job. Do 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 do.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy. The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ul'dah home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss.
And now that she is free, she's talking about Alamigo, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I have resigned myself to his loss. Okay.
Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side.
Huh.
I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Ul'dah or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
So she wants to... what? She wants to go be among the common people? I guess that's fine. I mean, it's been done before, right? That's like Aladdin. That's like Aladdin's level of old trope, etc. Whatever. All good. Da, da, da. I do love the Uldan song. The Ulda theme song. It's a great song. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba ba. Can you imagine starting the game in Ulda as like a gladiator or something? That'd be sick. Okay, this is right outside the Adventurers Guild. I like that Ulda has a direct connection to the Adventurers Guild with the Aetheryte, because Limsa Limizza doesn't have a direct connection to the Adventurers Guild. Perchance you remember Lilira, the merchant's daughter. This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papa Shan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the Gate of Nald. Oh great, we're going on a little adventure with Nanamo. Nana no mo! Nana no mo! No mo, Nanamo! Nanamo ni monamo! Nana no mano mano mano! Ba ba da ba 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 da ba da 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 da. Ba da ba 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 da ba da ba. Royal Rumblings. I'm not interested. Gate of Nald, she said. Pretty sure she said Gate of Nald. Let's go! Gate of Nald! Baby, I need better lighting. This lighting sucks. And unfortunately, like, the way my light's set up, it kills my eyes when I turn my lights on. I need some solution for that. I don't have one. I don't know how to blast light into my face without blasting light into my face. I'm worried about damaging my eyes by turning on lights. I don't know if there's a good solution to that. I really don't. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanalin's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is. And unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ulda. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown ever more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. You've done your best, Your Grace. And then my best has not been good enough. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Okay, Nanamo. Getting all political. We're just trying to help you feel better. Let me drive my giant cube, my giant space cube, into the sunset so that I can talk to you over wherever it is you are right now. Giant space cube! Da-la-la-la-la. Flying space cube! It was here, in this holy and remarkable place that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Vanaland when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raoban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' death were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could only brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens. Quite unaware of the consequences of my actions would have for you and yours, I shudder to think how many good souls paid the price for my naivete. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarists' damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Really? You took 2 steps outside and now you're running back to Ul'dah? Come on, man. That was a pointless adventure. That wasn't an adventure at all. Nothing happened. We took 2 steps outside, talked a little bit, now we're back. That was a walk, not an adventure. Whatever, lady. Whatever. So she's at Gladiator Guild. Da-na-na-na-na-na. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raoban to die on the sands that day. The gambling ring which had arranged for Raoban to die on the... What? Regardless, my intervention meant that Raoban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater, but as you know, Raoban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade. A fortune, you say? How fascinating. Oh dear. Heidelin, you have the most inconvenient timing.
Grace! You mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace! Come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Sham. Raban!
Your Grace! I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah. And so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Papa John's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild, but upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards amidst servants for counsel. I don't know what you just said. I was kind of distracted. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultans sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Arzanath of Suri. So why is she doing all this exactly? Thaumaturge's Guild. Old Steps of Null, Thaumaturge's Guild. There we go. When the calamity threatened, Fralban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano. And I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louis Swan would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I've made a custom of visiting the shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I see the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightfully celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be Sultana worthy of the name, I thought she wanted to quit. Didn't she want to quit like a chapter ago? She was like, I don't want to be Sultana anymore. The people deserve better. And now she's like, how do I become a worthy Sultana? Like, if I'm going to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Will. With Alamiga now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already, many displaced Alamegans seek to begin the long trek home. Displaced Alamegans, yes. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Rauger's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time the Ul'dah treasury shall provide. Precisely where and when to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Might you ask a member of the Syndicate for advice? Why not seek the advice of one who employs refugees? A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate, and he is one of the few who pays refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Yes. Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to Landling, and I will see that the word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. Huh. Airship. Okay, airship. Go to the airship. I got that. I could do that. I've got 15 minutes left. Dang. I think. Airship, airship, airship. Airship landing. I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Gold Saucer. I have not been here since the first time I came here. I have heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Da 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 da, ba na 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 na, ba na 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 na. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his coming? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Let me finish up this cutscene and call it. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of the Alamico's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed? The unusual circumstances of our meeting and your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Ul'dah's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. Wow. You oppose my proposition? Most emphatically. I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Ul'dah in this arrangement? Profit? After all you have done for Girabania's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune. Forgive me, your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Ul'dah's own poor and downtrodden, should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo. It is unlikely that they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill? Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ul'dah. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor. He's got a point. Smart businessman. Understands the people. Understands what they want. Understands what makes them tick. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Thank you for watching. I will be back next time with more Final Fantasy XIV. So remember to like and subscribe.